I'm Amara Jones and welcome to Caffeine TV, your daily video news brief. Here to take you through 3 headline numbers in just 3 minutes, giving you a different take on everything from housing policy to the Real Housewives. The first number up today is 5.5, as in 5.5 years. That's the time that Eric Holder has spent in the office of Attorney General. Yesterday, Holder announced his intention to leave office once the Senate confirms his replacement. And no, this is not the storyline from last night's scandal, y'all. This is real life. Now, while in office, Holder made controversial moves on terrorism and on freedom of the press. But perhaps his biggest legacy is in the area of social justice. When he became Attorney General, he called out the nation for being cowards on race. He reinvigorated the Civil Rights Division, launched hard into voting rights, launched as well investigations into the unjustified deaths of Black youths across the country, including Trayvon Martin and Michael Brown. He expanded the definition of the Civil Rights Act to fight for trans rights, and perhaps his biggest legacy, he swung hard into gay marriage. And so the question is that with the country in a fragile state on the issues of social justice and racial equality, who's going to fill Eric Holder's giant shoes? And they really were giant because the man is 6'3". Let's hope that someone with, I don't know, size 13 or 14 feet end up in the job of Attorney General. The next number up today is 47, as in 47 days. That's the time that it took Thomas Jackson, Chief of Police of the Ferguson Police Department, such that it is, to issue an apology for what went wrong in Ferguson. Now, wearing a polo shirt, perhaps he'd just come off the golf course, he said that he was sorry that they'd left Michael Brown's body in the middle of the street for 4 hours, said that Ferguson had a history of tension with the Black community that he also apologized for. And lastly, he said that if anyone felt, as they were peacefully protesting, that their rights were violated, that he felt sorry for that too. Well, I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, I didn't get 47 seconds to apologize for stuff that I'd done, let alone 47 days, especially that time I turned off my mama's pot roast on a Sunday. But also more to the point is the fact that I'm kind of sick of faux apologies. You're sorry for the way that other people felt when you did wrong. That also was the case earlier this week at the New York Times with Daniel Mattoon. Instead of issuing these faux apologies, how about starting out by doing the right thing? The last number up today is 2567. That's the post office box of Julia Baker, aka Olivia Pope, from last night's scandal. Now, last night we learned a lot of new things in that sweeping and engaging and just awesome premiere. The first is that Liv and I have the same hair without the relaxer, that Jake is a character, or should be a character, on Masters of Sex. We learned that Millie has a fondness for the nation's bicentennial. Y'all add 200 plus 1776 and you'll come up with the number. And lastly, we learned that Liv Pope is, well, Liv Pope. That as hard as she tried to run and hide from herself, at the end, she is who she is. And that's a great lesson now for not only Liv Pope, but for all of us, our country, and the world. That though we face a lot of problems right now, the key to actually resolving them and moving on is not to run from them, but to turn around and face them.